Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, and welcome to the Black Business Network as we continue to give you information from across the globe, from across the world. I'm your host, Eric Kelly III, and as I get prepared today, I want to talk a little bit about the Black Business Expo. The Black Business Expo is an organization who raises scholarships for kids. If you're out there and you think about our kids today, one of the things you got to understand that there is a $1 trillion GDP. What that means is that African Americans represents over $1 trillion. We continue to talk about that $1 trillion and think about the different communities that money is dispersed in. When you begin to think about other nationalities in the Jewish community, that money rolls around the Jewish community for months at a time. In the Mexican or the Hispanic community, it rolls around for weeks at a time. But in the African American community, it only rolls around only 8 hours. And I submit to many people and talk about it. But when you talk about 8 hours, you're pretty much saying that the money that African Americans make comes to the household on a Friday night. You go to sleep for 8 hours and you wake up and you take that money out of your community and you spend it with someone else. Now, one of the questions has always been, where are the Black businesses? And this is really a real serious question because most Black businesses don't understand how to exist. A lot of times we believe that the word of mouth is the best advertising. While reputation advertising is great by word of mouth don't necessarily sends the message to your audience or to your tribe, as I continue to talk about. Now, as you're looking for your audience or you're looking for your tribe, one of the things you have to understand is that someone or some person or some group are looking for what you sell. As my great grandfather used to say, what you're looking for is looking for you. That is really key. As we talk about today's show, we're going to have a very special guest, and that guest is going to be announcing tonight the start of a new show that's going to be called the Barbara H. Smith Show. This is going to be a show about great speakers. Barbara H. Smith is the $1 billion speaker trainer. She can turn your conversation into a speech. She takes your own soul, your own experiences. She takes your own words and she shares with you a way to say them in a way to communicate not only inspiration, education, but more importantly, information. Now, as we look at the Black Business Expo and talk about the Black businesses represent about $300 billion. And one of the things that the Black Business Network wants to do, the Black Business Network wants to go across this world globally, as we've done for 2 quarters of the year. Back in November, the 9th through the 15th, we did over 40,000 people at our event on the network. This past week, we did over 50,000 people on our network. So we're building this animal where Black businesses can come on and talk about their businesses, and people all across the world can listen to them. Over 200 countries are a part of our network of people. Now, last February, during Black History Month, we were able to have speakers from places like Singapore, Las Vegas, Chicago, New York City, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and so many other states. So we're building something that we want to see happen 365 days of the year, or as we say in our meetings, 52 weeks of the year, where we would like to have 100 speakers to speak. If you are a speaker out there and you have something to say, make sure you give us a call at 919-308-9090. Give us a call if you'd like to speak on our platform. But more importantly, when you do give us a call, understand that we're raising scholarships for kids. That's why we do it. And with no further ado, I'd like to introduce my guest this evening, none other than Barbara H. Smith.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly, for that fabulous introduction. And thank you so much for allowing me to grace the platform with you.
Well, when you begin to talk about platforms, let's talk a little bit about what today's announcement is. Before we talk about this great announcement, and I've been watching the kinds of things that you've been doing all over the country, the kinds of people that you have been training, and in the 20-year grind. And sometimes people think it happens overnight. Sometimes people think that all of a sudden you were a great trainer, but it takes more than a notion. It takes more than an idea. It takes more than just sitting around saying that I want to do something. It takes work. And before we start talking about this grand announcement, let's talk about who Barbara Smith is for the audience. For those who don't know, Barbara H. Smith is the $1 billion trainer. She transforms your voice to be an inspirational light to others. Barbara, who are you, first of all?
Well, I'm just a little old girl from Spring Valley, New York, and I've been speaking and training for about 20 years. What happened was there was a time when I stuttered, and I had a godmother who has gone on, transitioned on, and she always told me, "You're not better than anyone, but you're just as good as everyone." Mm-hmm. And from that moment, there was a spark in me to know that I had something to say. And even if I stuttered, I still had something to say. I always had the greatest cheerleader of all time, my mom and my dad, who always supported whatever I did. And I didn't really come into my own speaking until high school, when I was part of the general organization school council. And I started noticing that people listened when I talked, and that was a surprise. They actually listened when I talked. Then I started to discover that people had something to say. People were born with a gift. People were born with a treasure. People were born having something that was their destiny, something that only they could present, something that only they could do the way they did it. And so I began to develop strategies and techniques, not only just to develop myself, but to develop others, to help other people see what I call the diamond behind. And many of us are walking around with this great treasure inside of us and not know how to develop. Communication is one of the keys to a better life. Everything you do has to be communicated. So when you talk to another person, the fallacy is that they understand what you're saying. But if you present it in such a way that the words, which are powerful, resonate with them, then you're able to communicate better. And that's what I bring to the table, Dr. Kelly. Back to you.
I was moving you to the other side because, as I said earlier, we're having a grand announcement. And the grand announcement that we're having this evening is more to what you're going to do in the future. But yes, when we begin to talk about an impediment that you have had, I can also say that in this whole speaking world, there are many people who are not confident. And whether people would say stuttering is an impediment, I would submit that confidence is an impediment. Because if you're not confident, then you're not going to stand on that stage. If you're not confident, then you're going to cower to the lights. If you're not confident, then you're not going to understand what you have to give, and you will not be able to present it. I guess many in the audience would probably have this question to ask you, and not when did you start speaking, but what about speaking makes you the happiest?
Wow, that's a great question. I love when I see other people reading what I'm talking about. What I mean by that is they get light bulbs.
And it looks like we're having some technical difficulty, and we'll continue to work on it. Mark, let's see if we can figure out what's going on. Barbara H. Holmes, you disappeared.
I'm still here.
But that's all right. Sometimes technical difficulties don't allow us to do all the great things that we're going to do. I'll pose that question back to you. What is that? Answer the question that I asked you earlier. And that question was, what makes you the happiest when you're speaking?
What makes me the happiest when I'm speaking is when I see the lights. I read eyes when I speak. I scan the audience for understanding, comprehension, and whether they're going to sleep or not. And when I see them light up or sit up or like they got what they call an aha moment, that's what gives me the greatest joy. It means I've reached them in a place that they might not have been reached before. It means I've reached them at a place that might change their lives. And that makes me the happiest.
Well, when we begin to talk about not only happiness, let's talk a little bit about your company. Okay. The Barbara H. Smith Company. What's the name of your company? And what are the products or services that you guys do?
Well, the company name is BHS Consulting LLC with Speak, Coach, Train as a subsidiary. And so, as the name indicates, I speak, I coach, I train. The services we provide are facilitation. We write content. We also speak and facilitate major events. We train corporate trainers and as well as executive trainers, as well as executives. We delve into diversity, inclusion, and equity products and services. And we have a few products on the shelf right now. I'm in the process of writing my book, the first one out of the chute. Thank you, Dr. Kelly, for the encouragement. And so those are the main products that we provide right now.
When you look at your products and services and you look at speaking engagements, what are some of the obstacles that you see in people who want to speak but are afraid to reach out to ask for help?
You hit the nail on the head a little earlier. The biggest obstacle is fear. The second biggest obstacle is confidence. And so when I do a one-on-one consultation with an executive, a millionaire, a billionaire, we first talk about confidence and fear. Because if you have fear, which is totally made up in your gray matter, then you won't step out onto a stage. And you don't even have to be a speaker on a stage. We all have to be able to convey our ideas, our thoughts, our aspirations to other people. Whether you're a $1 million earner or a $1 billion earner, you still have to convey your ideas clearly, succinctly, and compellingly in order to get someone to agree with and or buy what you're selling. And so we first talk about that obstacle of fear, and then we talk about confidence. That inner critic, that person that talks to you all the time, can either help you, propel you, or hinder you, put obstacles in your way. So those are the first two obstacles that we talk about.
Well, as you can see, technical difficulties. Look at that. Now it looks like our screen is lit up like the real lights. The Black Business Network is rocking and rolling. Black Business Expo presents the Black Business Olympics. Man, I tell you, I just love it when technical things. And now we want to thank our engineer who does this all the time, Mark Lee. Mark Lee's doing an outstanding job. And for those of you who would like to have a show, you can email Mark Lee at bluesradio@gmail.com. That's bluesradio@gmail.com. And in your subject matter, put, I want a TV show. There's a cost, but I want a TV show. Back to you, Doc. Excuse me, to Barbara. Excuse me. I feel like you're a doctor. Let's talk a little bit about what your new quest is in terms of your brand. I understand that you're moving into an arena for celebrities and millionaires and billionaires, and that's where your focus is going to be. What do you have to share with these guys who make over $1 million a year in terms of their speaking? Because most of these individuals, they are confident in terms of getting to that level. But some of these guys, while they are confident in terms of what they do, some of them not confident in standing before people and speaking.
There are techniques and strategies. I started a course called Represent Your Brand, and I've broken it down into 1 hour increments. And so I can literally show you, teach you, encourage you, and train you on how to speak more confidently, stand before audiences and present. Your elevator pitch is one thing that is most definitely the most important part of your arsenal of speaking tools. And we've all been told we need to have an elevator pitch. The problem is most of us haven't ever been taught how to do it properly. So when I say properly, I mean when you finish telling someone what you do after being asked, so what do you do? If you're not able to, in 5 to 8 seconds, not just tell them everything you do, but tell them in such a way that they ask you questions. Because what we tend to do when asked, what do you do? We either throw everything on their feet, or we say it's complicated, which means we're running away from the actual question. And when people ask you, what do you do? I can help anyone, especially multi-millionaire, billionaire people, with that one small statement that will propel their product, service, or idea to the next level.
Well, when you begin to talk about that, and I want to just dig a little bit deeper, because I know the audience is sitting there and they're wondering, why Barbara H. Smith, of all people? I believe that the opening is a challenge for most people. And I can just kind of rewind our tape, so to speak, this afternoon, or rewind the opening when I asked you. I said, who is Barbara A. Smith? And you said a little black girl. Okay. Now I know that it's more to that than what you said. If you were doing an opening about Barbara A. Smith, and we talk about this a lot in different circles, how sometimes we don't really talk about who we really are for
right.
fear that other people will push back from what the reality of it is. And sometimes that's how speakers feel. They don't want to talk about who they are because they're afraid that, if I'll step up and I say, well, I'm $1 billion earner. Okay. Really, what does that mean? Okay.
Right.
Let's rewind that. And if you were saying to a national audience, to over 200 countries is what we reach out to, what would be your opening, your elevator pitch?
I am Barbara H. Smith, the celebrity speaker trainer, training people from all over the globe to speak better, present better, and share their stories. And I can help you, whether your company is large or small. I help you all.
Well, see, now that's a whole different kind of flavor. And the reason I wanted to rewind to that is because a lot of times people need to hear or feel, what you do. And sometimes they don't feel what you do because they don't know you. And with me, it's a little different because I give you what I got all the time. Mm-hmm. I talk about, there are no do-overs. There are no go back. Today I talked to a group about distractions.
Right.
And distractions, and what I meant by distractions, when we say that we want to do something or be something or make some level of accomplishments, we never look at the distractions that keep us from doing those things.
Right.
And when I talked about men in sports and over a 20-year period, how we spend so much time on sports that we could give up a total of 8 years by looking at the hours that we spend on sports. And then the question that I pose is, what could I have done if I took those 8 hours where that distraction of sports or gambling or any other thing, television that we like, what could I have accomplished without those distractions? How do you deal with distractions? How do you deal with clients who put distractions in front of their quest to be great speakers?
I constantly remind myself what is the question at hand? The question is this pushing me towards my goal, or is it stopping me from my goal? So for every transaction, for every interaction, for every dealing with my daily life and the lives of my clients, I ask them to ask the same question. I don't pose a question to others that I don't pose to myself on a regular basis. So if your life is filled with things that you consciously, now that's the other part, being conscious of what you're doing every day. I know some people are not checklist people, but I am. I make a checklist in the morning of my intentions, not my to-do list, my intentions for the day. And those intentions need to be lined up, aligned with what my goals are for success. If they're not, then they're a distraction. And then at the end of the day, I go back to that list and say, okay, what did you accomplish? And what didn't you accomplish and why? Was it a distraction you caused, or was it a distraction you allowed to be caused? Because you, me, are always in control of our own time. We are. You can choose to do something or not to do something.
Now, earlier you said that you were the celebrity trainer. What does that really mean?
A celebrity is somebody who's well known, right? So over 20 years of training, I have probably trained, I can't even tell you, thousands of people. And of those thousands of people, I submit to you that 50% of them are well known. And they're well known because they have achieved great things. And they've achieved, I'm not going to start dropping names, but they've achieved great things in their lives. And that's what makes them a celebrity.
When we begin to look at that word of well-known and look at the word celebrity, and then look at the millionaires and the billionaires and begin to talk about how to reach out to them, what are some of the things that you utilize to reach out to people who you feel need your services?
Marketing, one way, and then networking. So you have networking of well-known people, and every person on the planet has at least 250 people that they know. And so you're a stone's throw from the next person who knows the next person who knows the next person. And your work speaks for you. So I've had great success with training people. And so I've been heard about and talked about. And so it's helpful to network, be able to talk to people. I guess that's one of the things that I really love about the work I do. And that is, I truly and genuinely love people. And I want to see others get to their greatest moments in life. And so I liken it again to a diamond. Most of us are covered with coal because we don't know how great we are inside. And it's such a joy to watch other people, as we begin to work together, chip away at the coal and begin to see their own diamonds.
Well, I got another question for you. And do you have a 1 hour course that you can give somebody that will transform them to be a great speaker if they consistently or focused in on listening to what you have to say?
Indeed, I do. As a matter of fact, I have 12 1 hour courses, and they line up in a sequence. And so if you feel you don't need this particular course or that particular course, you can not choose those. But I concede and contend that in a sequence, there's a process to get through all 12 of those courses. And so to answer your question, yes, I have a 1 hour course for 12 courses that you could take to become a better speaker.
And I think that's one of the things that many people have fear, because many people come on or many people have conversations with you and they begin to believe that they need this or they need that and not really knowing exactly what they need.
Right.
And a lot of times people don't understand that the understanding of the person that's asking you the question may actually understand all of the different areas, but there may be one area where they really feel like they're not strong in. So how do people get in contact with you, email you, or give you a call so that they can take some of these courses?
You can always reach me on LinkedIn. You know how to go to LinkedIn. My name is Barbara-H-Smith on LinkedIn. You could also reach me at bhsmith@speakcoachtrain.com. That's bhsmith@speakcoachtrain.com. Or you can call me at 757-504-0806. That's 757-504-0806. And I'd love to have a chat with you.
Now, your website, what is, I gotta ask.
Yeah,
I'm marketing. And for those out there who don't know, we've been talking and working with Miss Smith in different areas, and she's working with a team of people who are working on some new things, because she is rolling out not only, and I'm keep holding the announcement, she's rolling out a grand announcement. And I believe that a grand announcement is going to be rolled out with a new website and with some other things that are going to happen for you. Talk a little bit about that.
For now, we're at www.speakcoachtrain.com, but we are unveiling another website, and I have to wait until I talk to my marketing person before I can give you that information. But it is www.speakcoachtrain.com. And you can also reach me there. There is a contact form for information, as well as a free ebook, How to Present with Power. You can reach it there.
Well, let's talk about that free thing you just said. I think a lot of people, when they hear the free, they're always like, well, why am I getting something for free? Talk about that free ebook. Why is that free ebook, first of all, available for people that come to the site? And second of all, why do people need to read that particular book?
Well, this book is a gift, my gift to the world, on just the basics of how you could present better, how to see yourself from the inside out, and how to be more authentic, speak with clarity, speak compellingly. And it just gives you a little bit of a glimpse of who I am and how I can help you.
Now, the website, the new rollout, the telephone number, I'm smiling now, and I know the audience is probably, they've been in here for probably about 20 minutes. And so it's just burning me up all over. I just want to let it go. Um, so with no further ado, we're going to be announcing that the Barbara H. Smith Show is going to be on Tuesday nights. And it's going to be a show that's going to be about speaking, about training, and about experiences. And that show is going to be called the Barbara H. Smith Live, 7 o'clock on Tuesday nights. Is it 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock?
It's 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock on Tuesday nights. How does that make you feel, Barbara?
I'm so excited. I'm about to bust. So I have to really just give thanks to God for all the wonderful things he's doing in my life. And I also have to thank Dr. Kelly, and I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to Dr. Watson for making the introduction to Dr. Kelly. And it's just been a dream of mine to be on platform on my own show. And I have been afforded this opportunity that I don't take lightly.
Well, now I want you to understand now that tonight's my show. It's called the Black Business Network. I just want everybody to know. And it's being put on my platforms and pushed out to over 200 countries. And when you begin to do your show, we will be more than supportive. Hopefully one day you'll call me up and let me be a guest on your show. But right now, we're looking forward to all of the great speakers that you've trained to begin to bring up on your show and begin to talk about those experiences. Because I truly believe that once people see the work, not just the talk, but the work, then many other things, many other doors are going to open up for you. Now, as you look at that, how do you approach going on stage when you speak?
You're talking about in the old days when we could get in front of people, you mean?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That was my greatest joy of all time. I had a whole routine of, meditating and making sure that I was not only physically prepared, but mentally prepared to get before people. Because you never know who is in the audience that needs to hear what you have to say. You never know who's in the audience, whose life you might be actually impacting or saving. And you never know why people have been placed under your voice for such a time as that. And so I don't take lightly when I enter the room or when I enter on the platform, because we never know whose life is about to change. And we may never know whose life was changed by what we've said or how we made them feel. Because people don't care what you say, people don't care what you do, but people definitely care how you make them feel.
Well, talking about how you make people feel, can you give me, and I'm sure you do have a workbook, can you give me 10 things that you look for in a speaker?
Wow. Many speakers have their own voice. They want to say things and do things the way they want to do them. So the number one thing I would say to speakers, or that I look for in a speaker, is authenticity. Being who you are. No one can be you. And so we all come to this world, I said that before, with a gift, a talent, something that's placed inside of us that only we can do. And so that's the first thing that I look for in a speaker, is being authentic. Thank you so much. The second thing I look for is commitment. Are you committed to being a speaker, or is it a nice to have, something you've seen someone else do and you say, oh, I'd like to do that? Commitment means you're going to study your craft. That's the third thing. Studying your craft. That's what this is. It's a talent, but it's also a craft. And there are nuances, things that you need to learn to be a better speaker. Number 3, 4, I think I'm at 3 or 4. 3 is taking your time to discover who you are. What do you want to talk about? Well, some people say, I can talk about anything. Well, that's probably not going to go over very well with everybody. And knowing, number 5, that you have your own tribe, people who are looking for you. As Dr. Kelly said, his grandfather said, what you're looking for is looking for you. So knowing who your tribe is. Number 6, I would say I'm looking for people who want to make a difference in the world. Yes, you come here with a gift. Yes, you come here with a talent. But what are you willing to serve and do? Who are you serving? Who do you want to serve? And are you serving? Because it's not about you. Your gift or talent isn't about you. It's about helping and serving others. Number 7, are you willing to sacrifice? Sacrificing time away from the television, time away from sometimes your activities that you want to do or like to do. To have that sacrifice is something I look for in speakers. And number 8. Number 8 has to do with how you relax. I meditate, I pray, I take a long bath, I exercise. All of those are relaxation techniques or self-care. How do you take care of yourself? Are you maybe struggling with weight, as I was at one time, and making a decision to change that? Number 9, balance. I'm looking for people who have balance in their lives. Do you know how to separate family time from work time? And what's that balance and ratio for you? I'm always looking for speakers who have balance in their lives. And number 10, the final number of things I'm looking for in a speaker is someone who wants to be better than they currently are. Because we can always be good, but good is not great. And we can always learn wherever we are in life, whatever we do in life, we can always be better than what we are at the moment. So those are the 10 things that I look for in speakers.
Well, I was listening to your numbering, and you skipped number 4.
I skipped number 4. Okay.
4, and I think number 4, because I've listened to you before, I think number 4 is the most important. Number 4 is why. Why do you want to speak?
Yeah.
Why are you speaking?
That actually should be number 1.
Yes, it should be. It really should be. But it's your call for your numbers. Why is always my number 1. So as you gave the rundown of these attributes and these thoughts that you have on the speakers, when you come in contact with a speaker who may be an awesome speaker, who seems to have their speaking game on, as the young people say, fleet, on fire, what are some of the things that when you're having a conversation with someone who's been in the speaker realm, who may be looking to be better? Because people say iron sharpens iron, and if you are going to be great at anything, you have to continue to work on everything. What do you say to those kinds of people?
Just what you said. Iron sharpens iron. So let's have a conversation about what things you're doing and what things I'm doing, and compare notes. Are there things that you know about that I don't know? Are there things that you do that I don't do? And it's not to mimic or copy someone else, but anytime you can find a technique, a strategy, a way to reach your audience. How are you reaching your audience? Is questions I ask other speakers that are high profile speakers. How do you reach them at a heart level? As Dr. Ruben West can say, how do you get to them so that they it causes them to create an action, because it's one thing to just speak and uplift people, but I want to be a transformation, not want to be, I am a transformational speaker. And so when people hear me speak, their lives are transformed by the techniques and strategies I give them. We don't just talk, we do. It's an action plan. And so when I'm speaking to other speakers who are high profile or very good at their craft, I ask them, how do they transform lives?
Mhm. Well, you said earlier, and maybe a lot of times people miss it. And I always talk about developing a team and what a team means. And sometimes people don't realize that their mother could be a team member, their great grandfather, in my case, and my grandmother, who were my ultimate leaders of my team. The Black Business Expo would not have happened without my grandmother. I would not have happened without my great grandfather. Because as I look back at all the things that I was able to accomplish, and I always talk about how I've always won. And I consider, or I submit to people, that winning is happiness. You know, you can talk about all the money in the world, but if you're not happy, you're not winning.
That's right.
And so with that being said, mentorship is very important.
Yes.
Can you talk about any mentors that you have in your life, that you're working with at the present time, that help you understand the marketplace that you're in? Because sometimes it's more important to listen to people who are actually doing what you're doing,
Yeah.
such as you teaching others to speak. That don't necessarily mean that you don't need or get inspiration and fire from your mentors. Who are some of your mentors? And then talk about why it's important to have mentors.
Wow, that's a really great question. Absolutely have mentors, because you have to think outside of yourself. You only know so much, but other people's influences and purpose in life is to help you grow. And so one of my mentors is Dr. Donetta Watson of the Black Mastermind Group, which I'm also a member of. And I'm going to give her a shout out and the organization, because I'm the executive master trainer for that organization. And Dr. Watson has really brought my business level to a whole new level: education, mentoring, coaching, and training. The real road to success is what we call it. And she's always been an inspiring person across the board, but she helped me understand business better. Then I have Michelle Pippin, who is Barbara Michelle Pippin. Many people don't know that. And she is also a business coach that has been very instrumental in helping me strategize business in a way, and structure business in a way that has also helped elevate my life. Then there's Dr. Ruben West, who is my speaker trainer mentor, and he is a global presence. He is a phenomenal humanitarian. He is just the kind of person that is a servant's servant, and he helps people all over the world. I can't leave out my former pastor and current pastor, Bishop Samuel L. Cutler, and his lovely bride, Yvonne Cutler, as well as our new pastor, Pastor Copeland. And my all-time favorite mentor of all time is my mom. My mother and my husband are the biggest cheerleaders. My children cheer me on, and I have a really great support system. So even though they're my children, they're still mentors of young people to help me understand younger people right now. And my mother has always been the cheerleader, the confidant, the friend, always there when I needed her. So I have a plethora of mentors, and you have to have somebody in your ear other than your own critic to help you see sometimes your own value. And so the last person, and certainly not the least person that is a mentor new to the team, is Dr. Eric Kelly III. He has been an inspiration from the time I met him and from the time he has helped me understand the value of what I have to say and the value of my presence on platform. And I really want to thank him. Of all the people that I've mentioned, I thank you, Dr. Kelly, for all you've done and continue to do to elevate those who come into your.
And again, of course, it would happen on the Dr. Kelly note, and our computers have choked up again. But as we continue to do it, and I want you to know, when you look back at this particular one, I want you to know that you should have seen the face it froze you at. It's going to be funny when you look at it again. But I was not looking for the last guy. I was hoping I was not going to be mentioned. But at the end of the day, we have to be recognized for what we do. And when you look at where you're headed and you look at what you've done and you look at your mentors, I tell people all the time that your mentors are a part of your team.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're in the game, and people don't think about the game the way I think about the game. And I say there are about 6 places that you're in the game. 1, you're the owner. You own everything. It doesn't matter what everybody's doing. You own everything. Number 2, then you're the coach. And your job is to coach all of what you're doing. And then, of course, you're the superstar. That means you're the number 1 guy, whoever you are. You're the guy we give the ball to the last. You're the guy we hand the ball off to. You're the guy that stands back there, and we depend on you throwing that great pass. Or you're the guy that shines when the lights come on. And then you have the player. And the player is the guy who supports and makes sure things happen, like rebounds or blocking. It's a support person. And then, of course, you have the guy who sits the bench. That's all he wants to do is sit the bench and be in the game. He's not worried about being the star. He's not worried about playing. That's what he does. And then you have the quitter. And that's the guy who shows up with all the talent in the world, and he does not even know he has the talent, but he quits before he steps out there to do something. And so with that analogy that I make about the game, and I'm talking about the game of life, where do you see you fitting in the game of life when it comes to this whole speaker piece? Or where would you like to sit?
I just talked to one of my clients about visualization. I would like to sit at the billionaire level of coaches, trainers, and speakers. Speaking, coaching, training. That's what I love to do. And in the happiness realm of things, that would make me the happiest to have a team of people who are business owners and or employees who see the vision of Speak, Coach, Train, Barbara H. Smith, global speaking. That's where I want to be. That's the platform I want to be on, is all over the world. When you see the name Barbara H. Smith, you know I'm coming to bring excellency, I'm coming to bring camaraderie, and I'm coming to bring talent to help you get to your next level in life. And I'm coming to bring service, serving those who want to go to another level.
Well, when you begin to talk about the owner, you know, I got to take you back to my question. You answered your question. You know, this is what I say sometimes to people. Sometimes it's hard for people to hear what you say because they're listening to what they're thinking. So let me bring you back. And you just said you want to be a global phenomenon. And do you want to be the owner of this marketplace? Do you want to be the coach of this marketplace, the superstar, the player, the bench warmer, or the quitter of this space? Which one do you want to be?
Can I add one?
Yes, you can.
I want to be the visionary.
Ooh.
I want to be the visionary putting the players on the field to play the game. Does that answer your question this time?
I'll take the answer, but I'm sure my audience is sitting there saying, Eric, you didn't pin her down that time. Keep pushing, keep pushing. So let's kind of switch gears for a moment, because this isn't a 1 hour show, and we're rapidly approaching that 1 hour. And one of the things that I believe in is time. And when I go overtime, it's very important that something is happening for me to go over time. But let's talk about your show. Tonight we announced that your show is going to be every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. And your show is going to be talking to speakers from all across the world. Who are some of the speakers that you may be reaching out to for your show? And I'm going to ask for some people that I like to see on your show, but who are some of the people that you're going to be reaching out to?
I'm going to be reaching out to Les Brown, Wade Randolph, Tony Robbins, Fran Harris, Sharon Reinhart, Dr. Reuben West, Dr. Frazier. Oh, there's one guy, let me think. Dr. Eric Kelly III. Rhonda Y. Williams, looking for these people. Dr. Danetta Watson, looking for these people. Sean Mason, looking for these people. And so many others that if I start really dropping all the names, I'm going to miss somebody that I have on my list. And I know we're getting close to our time.
Well, I think that list that you have talked about, and I said that there may be some other people that I like to add on that list. There's one lady that I would love to add on your list is Kamala Harris.
Oh, yes.
Not only Kamala Harris, I want you to go for the big bucks. And
yes.
The big bucks is Oprah Winfrey.
Yes.
Carrie, Beyonce. There are so many great people out there. And these individuals are looking to be on different platforms, because that's how they earn their money, by being on different platforms. And it sounds like to me that you got a very bold goal. When I speak, I talk about thinking big, planning a plan, researching. And more importantly, I talk about being relentless. Getting rid of distractions. Don't allow distractions to keep you from getting what you say you want. And then the most important piece is, why are you doing it? Not why are they doing it? Why are you doing it? And if your why ends up being because it makes you happy, then that is the ultimate piece of winning. Because as I can talk all evening about people being in the graveyards and people leaving the planet and their dreams not being crystallized and their ideas, their incredible ideas just floating away with a breath of the time that they're on the planet. These speakers who you're talking about for this particular show, I believe, will not only light up the earwaves and the airwaves of where your destiny is. I believe that bringing these people on this platform, on your platform, will elevate you to the heights that you're looking for. Because I talk about getting into those rooms. And a lot of times we don't get into those rooms because we get what we set up. And it sounds like to me, you're setting up for a great, great show. Are there any parting statements that you like to give before we get out of here?
I'm just grateful. I, in a million years, had not thought about coming on a show as quickly as I have. And I am so grateful to you, my Father God, and all of the team that sets up this show. Mark, thank you so much. Dr. Kelly, thank you so much for this opportunity. And I promise it will be one of the better shows that you've seen coming on live.
Well, this is the IBM Television Network. We push our show out to over 200 countries. We push our show on a network that brings you some 150,000 concerned business owners. That's the difference. People will talk about, well, you don't have 1 million people watching your show. You don't have 2 million people watching your show. But we submit to everybody. All we want is one person who can get the information and that can change their lives. Because when you're looking for your tribe and you're looking for your audience, you want your audience to listen to what you say. And if your audience is listening to what you say, then you're doing your job, because with over 8 billion people on the planet, you can't service all of them. With over $1 trillion in the African American community, you can't take all of that money home. And when you look at Jeff Bezos, who has $300 billion, and then you sit there and you listen to people on the Black Business Network talk about the Black business community in North America equals only $200 billion, then you understand why we must, as a group, look at that trillion and bring that trillion home to the Black businesses, so one man doesn't own $100 billion more than your whole entire community. And that's what the Black Business Expo is all about. We're about raising scholarships for kids. We're about raising the ideas of Black businesses all over the world. And we're so happy to have you as a new team member on the Black Business Network, or as I say, the IBM TV network.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
How can people, again, get in contact with you? How can they call you? And what is your email?
You can reach me at www.speakcoachtrain.com. That's www.speakcoachtrain.com. You can also reach me by email, bhsmith@speakcoachtrain.com. And you can call me at 757-504-0806. I'd love to talk to you.
And the last question that I have for you is, what would you say to the young people? The young people, and when I say young, I'm saying under 30, who want to be speakers, who have a voice, who have something to say. What is the one thing that you would say to them as they listen to this broadcast this evening?
You have a voice. You have something to say. Then get around some people who are doing what you want to do. The success leaves clues. And so find people who are doing what you want to do and ask them questions. Don't be afraid. Just know if you have something to say that you have a voice as well.
Now, do you train young people to speak? Because I'm listening to you, and it sounds like to me that you're advocating for them to get around other people who are like-minded. But do you train young people as well to be in this marketplace?
Currently, my business model does not train young people. I would love to get in that space, hire some young people who are looking hungry and not looking just to hang out, and learn how to be better speakers so that they can become the best speakers they possibly could be on platform. So yes, I'll be looking into that, but at this moment, I don't.
Well, we want to thank you so very much for being on the show. It's been a great show. You've been a really, really great, and I call you a host for a reason, great co-host for this show. And we look forward to you hosting your own show and getting the Kansas speakers to elevate people about this whole marketplace, because we hear so much about being speakers and we hear about these speakers, but we really are never able to reach out and listen and hear them and hear what their stories are all about. Again, I want to thank you for being on the show. This is the Black Business Network, the Black Business Olympics, the Black Business Expo. As we say, without love, there's no happiness. And without happiness, there's no peace of time. So as we close out, we'd like to thank you again. Bye-bye.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today.